Now, celebrating all things cool in Jacksonville, a local show with a spotlight on the 904 with hosts Eden Kendall and Mark Payton, featuring amazing stories from every neighborhood with Rance Adams. This is River City Live.
Welcome to River City Live. We have another stack show, lots of different things to talk about. We have the tattoo convention coming up, right? We're going to be talking about the bucket plan. So if you are at or near retirement age, you got to check that out because it will help you to really navigate how you plan for the future. And then also talking about heart health. We all have hearts.
Don't forget interactive wine.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
leave out the wine.
He doesn't.
Do not leave
Something
out
for everybody.
the wine.
I want to go back in on this retirement because tonight is my night.
Oh, yes. A lot of people thinking about it, but in case
Obviously,
you don't win.
when Rance talks about retirement, he's talking about his strategy, and that is the Powerball strategy. The jackpot's up to $700 million.
What?
That's a lot of money.
He has a fail-safe, completely bulletproof strategy. He's just been holding off using it until it got to be this high.
So I remember, was it last week we were talking about what we would do if we actually won, and we were pretty creative with them. Well, we came up with a survey, and I think this kind of turned dark. Let's describe it that way with this survey of what people would do that were polled if they won when it comes to relationships. So 4% of people out there that took this survey we found would dump their spouse, 4%, if they only won $10,000.
Wow.
Fortunately, 4% is the lower end of that.
Correct,
but it jumps up the more the lottery amount was.
So the more money, the less love. That's what happens. That's the trend with this.
90% of people would dump their spouse for a $100 million lottery win.
Okay, so let's break that
high,
down. So
90%.
Statistically, of us three here, right? That's basically everybody.
Right.
$100 million, you say goodbye to your spouse.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
Good answer, Randy.
Yeah. You read that, prompter. You read that.
I was coached up.
Finally, he doesn't get it wrong. Oh, that was
But
so...
what's interesting, if I weren't, or people that aren't in a current relationship, 58% would rather win the lottery than find the love of their life.
There's always time for that later, I guess.
So here's another one, and this one I think is fun. 2% of people would roll around naked in $100 bills if they won $100 million. You buy me a Trenta iced coffee, I'll do that. $3.50.
And he'll video it too.
Yeah, sure. When it's shot in 4K, I don't care.
What's
Whose
interesting?
money is it?
Oh yeah, there you go.
I don't know.
Who's under?
That's just a study.
But there's also like Mark Cuban has put out some words of advice to people who win the lottery. He's like, don't take the lump sum, because most of us like, well, I'm taking the lump sum. But for him, he's saying, don't take the lump sum because getting a regular annuity means you won't shoot your wad and spend it all and have everybody all over you. And then also don't make just random investments. I'm just telling you this in case you win and I don't. I'm looking out for you. But you can invest in me, Mark, and Eden here on River City Live. We love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the stats here, I'd like to end this particular part of our conversation on a positive. 78% of people say they would keep their partner no matter how much the lottery amount was.
Aww.
Why then do 90% say for $100 million they would?
None of our stats ever make sense on this show.
It's like they have all these different surveys going at once.
Well,
That's okay.
That's cute. You ended on a positive. I'm going to go negative. 13% of people would dump their mother-in-law for a lottery winning of only $10,000 or less.
What does that mean? Were they off them? Like, what does that mean?
I mean, like, to stop the relationship.
Well, then you have to lose your mother-in-law when you have to lose your spouse?
I don't
Not
know,
necessarily. I mean, but I love my mother-in-law, so she can hang out regardless.
You are 2 for 2. Right?
We got this on tape today.
He is learning.
We had a little intervention, talking about love and your family and all that stuff.
In all kinds of trouble, right?
Yeah. So right now, I mean, we are in the back of school mix. The kids have been, what, maybe 2 weeks tops. And there's a survey that came out of what teachers do not want parents to do. And you have to listen up because I think I'm guilty of a lot of these.
Oh, yeah. Well, the list goes a certain direction, but I'm going to start with the last thing on the list. Teachers hate when you send your sick child to school. The other parents hate that too because you know how germy they are and all that. And I mean, a lot of parents it's like, well, I've got to work, this is what I got to do. But if your kid's sick, just like a little bit, figure out a plan B. Teachers hate that. Well, another one of their big pet peeves, they don't want you doing your kids' homework for them. They can tell the difference from when I do a project and when the little diva does a project. Mine is definitely not as neat, so, you know. I mean, are you guilty? I mean, you've got the kids that have, like, gone through high school and all that. Were you guys ever guilty of, like, maybe overstepping with your help on projects and stuff?
Yeah, probably so, but not once they hit, like, 7th grade. Then I was out.
Yeah.
I didn't understand.
They say, please don't send an entire restaurant menu for lunch, and please don't provide serving instructions and say, can you heat this up? Because that's not something they do at public schools.
It's pretty nervy to do.
But we've had parents do that.
My child likes, you know, room temperature water. Can you put it in the microwave for 10 seconds?
I need 2 ice cubes for that water. Ignoring school communications and then saying, I never got the information.
I think that's a popular one. Yeah.
That's a popular
you
one.
You missed that email.
They leave it in the backpack if it's written, and then now there's emails, and then, oh, you know, it must have gone in my spam.
Or they have those robo-dialers.
Oh, yeah.
When you leave a message on a cell phone, and a lot of times I just don't listen to the message. Yeah, so.
It usually tells me there's an email waiting. So,
yeah.
So I'll take it, you know, different approaches. And then if the teacher is working drop-off or pick-up before after school, let them handle their business. They don't have time to really focus on a conversation. It works for you,
right?
Because of your time schedule, but if they're trying to get the kids in and out of school, they don't have time to talk about your one individual problem.
I'll tell you, that's got to be tough as a teacher because you have, you know, you could see the parent in sight. The parent's like rolling down their window and like, come here. And the teacher's got to be tactful in the way to be polite, but also like stop the conversation before it even starts because they don't have time for that. No. You know, and I bet you there's a lot of parents that are try to angle their way into that to get what they want, that FaceTime.
A lot of parents throwing tantrums, a lot of kids throwing tantrums.
Well, especially now because stress levels tend to be a little bit higher, again, with parents and kids because they're back in school. And this study out really was an eye-opener. 23 minutes a day. That is the average of the 2,000 parents polled of tantrum time. So your child is really talking back or having a meltdown or a tantrum 23 minutes a day. That's equivalent to 6 days together in a year's time. Think about that. That is horrible. And it's little things. It could be a fight over lunch.
Yeah. Do you have tantrum issues at your house?
Me personally, now and then, I'm just a little moody.
A little moody.
I need my 8 hours of sleep. Yeah.
When you're hungry.
I get hangry, but
no, the kids. Seriously, do they have?
I mean, yeah, it is part of the everyday. I mean, and I'm the worst at it because, I mean, I'm just like, so what's the problem? Like, I remember when she was little, and yes, I'm admitting this. Please don't call Child Protective on me.
You were doing so good, Rance.
No, but, you know, you'd go to the store, and the child would wild out, and the missus, she'd be like, nope, we're leaving right there. You know, take her, and then they'd leave, and then just mess up the day. I'm just like, oh, you gonna act like that? And I'd walk around the corner, and then she's like, oh, wait, he's not buying into this?
Yeah.
We broke that real quick. But, and, you know, even now, though, there's some random tantrums. It's not always directed at us. I mean, I guess they're saying that tantrums could be any kind of emotional outburst. Oh, the emotions in my house. Oh, the emotions.
See, but as the kids get older, you could reason or you could threaten. But when they're young, it is so hard, especially like with our toddler. Like, he has tantrums all the time. And you try to navigate them and to bring them down and to just, I don't know, get it to stop. But you can't reason. You can't reason with
the girl child did go through this when it was in her 3s and 4s. And she would have these meltdowns. And until she decided she was done, there was nothing you could do. So I said, I want to put her in a room. I want to lock on that door. And my husband said, we are not. And again, no judging. I'm not judging your parenting. He's like, we are not locking a child in her room. Because she would come out. And so I just got the screwdriver and I turned the doorknob around. I'm like, yeah, we are actually going to do it. And that's what we would do. And then she'd kick the door. Kick the door.
My gosh.
And then, but you know what? When she was done, she'd come out, I'm sorry.
Aww.
It was like this weird thing would overcome.
I know,
just
right?
the whole transition that happens,
like this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And now, it just would go away, and she'd be the sweetest ever.
And now, in the future, when the tantrum would build up, you're like, you remember what happened last time? And they're like, I don't care. I'm still going for it. Because, woo, it was funny because you heard the terrible twos. It wasn't really till 3 when everything really amped up.
Yeah, it's like 2 to 10, like, for something like that.